sure you seemed a little shocked afterwards with the supposition that perhaps Kurt Busch had hit you intentionally, and you didn't at the time. You would never. You said something, but I never would have thought that given your history.
Yep.
Did you ever talk to him about that afterwards? And do you think now that he did that, and did your opinion change of him?
No, we haven't talked about it. I think the way it finished up, there really wasn't much to talk about. I got to him and was able to get by him and win the race. If I would have lost the win from it, it would have changed my perspective dramatically. But definitely with the 2 car in the future, I will be prepared for that. I didn't expect it from him. We've raced against each other a lot and never had the bump and run. And I guess maybe we haven't been in a position late in a race like that to have him put the bump and run on me. But you just file those little things away, and you have to remember when you're in that situation, how did that guy race me? Because in a sense, he started it. In a sense, he opened the door for this, and then you race that way. And, that's just kind of the way it's always worked.
How do you make something like that go away? Can you sit and talk about it later, or this was just too much rough racing for win that you think is unfair? I'll give you let's make it speculative.
Well, there's a great story we're all aware of between Earnhardt and Bodine, where it got to a certain point, and Bill France Jr. said that you're not messing with my sport anymore. You're not going to make us look like fools. And I guess things can go that far and be that extreme. And I'm not sure if it's to that point and if Brian would handle it the same way, but in the past we have seen that with Earnhardt. So I think that it's everyone's best interest to move on and to stop dealing with it, because they're tired of talking about it. They're tired of dealing with it. It's in their minds all the time, and they need to be focusing on their racing and their cars and the championships and both series for both of them. So I think they both want it behind them. At the time when you make that split-second decision in the car to do something, you don't realize, and I think Stewart, it took him, 10 years to figure it out? You can make a couple decisions quickly that you got to deal with for months. And now Stewart's in a position where it's like, the hell with it, I'm not going to do that stuff anymore.
Jimmy, you race on hot tracks at various parts of the series, but what does heat do to this track with these cars for this weekend?
The heat just takes speed out of the racetrack here. It does change the balance some, but it's amazing that when the track is cool, like Saturday morning for qualifying, you'll run around and feel like you ran a decent lap, and you'll hear such a faster lap time as a result of it. So it doesn't change the balance. It just builds a lot of speed into the car, and we kind of call it free speed. Just all of a sudden you're a second faster, and the day before you were fighting for a tenth of a second, taking huge risks to get a tenth, and then easily go out and pick up a second. So it's kind of a weird situation like that.
Jimmy, it's so tough to pass on this track, but could this year's spoiler mean more drafting and more interesting things in the turns, or make that much of a difference?
Well, it's going to punch a bigger hole in the air. So down the straightaway, the opportunity to suck up and to use the draft is better, is a better chance of that. But at the same time, when you get to the turn, there's a larger hole of air, and the car behind you is going to have a less stable environment than what we had with the wings. So we'll be interested to see. I mean, maybe there's a big enough hole being punched that on the straightaways we can get a huge draft behind a guy and make a pass, which would make it exciting. 3 in a row would be awesome. I kind of forgot about it until we got here. I've been so busy the last few weeks with the baby and everything and Shanny that just excited to be back. This track has meant a lot to me over my career. I always hoped to be here in an Indy car as a kid growing up in Southern California. And to come back in a stock car and to win has been really cool, and looking forward to another shot at it.
And the winner here seems to always somehow finish strongly and have a chance, or does win the championship. There's kind of an omen about this race.
Well, when you win a race here, you've earned it. The Daytona 500 is an amazing event, but there are circumstances out of the team and driver's control that can lead to you winning the race, and somebody giving you a push or not pushing you in a certain situation. Here, that doesn't take place. If you win this race, you have earned every inch of it for 400 miles and have put yourself in position to win.
Jeff said if he wins this race, despite not having won this year, that he'll be considered the favorite to win the championship. Your thoughts?
We'll have to see. I mean, there's no telling. I think that Jeff has shown all year long that those guys have been able to collect points and get on a roll and be consistent. This race does send a big message within the industry, but I think that his consistent finishes, in my opinion, show more of his ability to win the championship than just a single race win.
Jimmy, when you look at this race right here, very few drivers win multiple times. What is it, how you, how Tony, how Jeff were able to win it multiple times?
Man, it's so tough to win here. I think experience really helps in the long run. You understand how important each lap is at the start of the weekend, and you show up focused and ready on your qualifying practice so that for qualifying you can start as close to the front as possible. I think that's really, really important here. And then the experience during the race, knowing how to pass cars and how to set your car up to run in traffic. It's a very narrow racing lane all the way around this racetrack for us, and experience makes a big difference. So I think that's why you see so many repeat winners here. Yeah, I mean, now that we've won 3 of these things, it became much more apparent to me when I was out here for the Winner's Circle appearance a month ago. I was here with Rick Mears and was able to look at the Borg Warner Trophy with his 4 faces on it, and the fact that he'd won the 500 4 times, and looking at our trophy with my face on there 3 times. It's really cool. This track means a lot to motorsports in general. It doesn't matter what form of racing you came from. And to win here is very, very special to me, and I hope to win again.
What's your take on the speculation about Mark Martin and what's his future going to be?
I'm not up to speed on the speculation. What's the speculation?
People wondering exactly what is his role going to be next year with the team.
Yeah, I'm not in tune with the speculation. I know that we're in a tough situation because we have Mark Martin, who brings so much to the table, and we've all really, really enjoyed working with. He's made Hendrick Motorsports better than it was when he started there. So we have Mark, and then we know Casey is going to do an amazing job whenever he comes in. We've been so focused on our own race teams and really don't want to get in the middle of that. I mean, it's a tough decision. What Mark has to deal with, Casey, and then Rick eventually makes all the decisions. So, I mean, as far as I know, Mark's in the car next year. That's all we've been told. And we'll just see what develops over the year.
Jimmy, do you guys, I mean, you have the week off before you come here, and y'all been so solid here the last 4 years, well, 3 of the last 4. Is there some special effort you guys put into this, or you feel like this is when you start gearing for the chase, and that's why you've been so strong?
For me here, we did so much wrong early that it was just eliminating all those approaches and finally figuring out the right approach for the track. It is such a sensitive track to driver technique, setup, and I can impact the setup, or the handling of the car more than anything. And it took me a while to figure out how to drive this racetrack. And once I did, the light went off in my head, and I'm like, man, I have been doing this so wrong for so long, and now I've caught on to it and understand the rhythm of it.
What were you doing wrong?
With these flat corners and tight corners, it's very easy to overdrive the entry, and I knew that, but in the back of my mind, I thought that I was driving the entry correct, and I still was wrong. I was still driving in too deep and still trying to use too much brake. And that's for turns 1 and 3, and then 2 and 4 is kind of the opposite. You really have to attack those corners because it leads you onto the longest straightaways, and that's where all your time's made. So I was kind of attacking 1 and 3 and easy through 2 and 4, and now I've switched around in my head where it's easy 1 and 3 and attack 2 and 4.